Actress Yvonne Craig is best known for playing TV's first superheroine, Batgirl, in the classic 1960s TV series Batman. While the primary stars of the show were clearly Batman and his sidekick Robin, played by Adam West and Burt Ward, Craig's role in the series was still a pivotal one. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2015, but over the years we've come to learn a lot about her. If you're as big a fan of Batman as we are, or maybe if you just happen to be partial to the work of Yvonne Craig, then this video is right up your alley. Keep watching to learn about her storied life and career, as well as what kind of impact both she had on Batman and it had on her. From a small Midwestern town to Hollywood. Yvonne was born May 16, 1937, in Taylorsville, Illinois, but she grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Her family relocated to Dallas, Texas in 1951 when she was 14. Craig spent most of her early life dancing and training to be a ballerina. She was discovered by ballerina and instructor Alexandra Danilova, who helped her become the youngest member to ever join the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. Craig later said this experience helped her tremendously when she was later cast as Batgirl. She left the ballet group in 1957 and moved to LA with aspirations of continuing to dance professionally, but instead she found herself drawn to acting. Eventually, this path led her to co-star with the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, as well as, of course, joining Batman. In the 1950s and into the early 60s, Yvonne played a series of ingenues, both benevolent and wicked, in shows like Perry Mason and 77 Sunset Strip. While she predominantly acted in dramas, there were a few comedies she did as well. But she was usually the 16 to 18-year-old girl who inherited some money, or the sexy 19-year-old who was having an affair with a married man, or something of that nature. She was successful in these roles and worked consistently. By today's standards, she was probably bringing home something like a couple of $100,000 a year. The producers of Dobie Gillis appreciated her so much, they brought her back several different times to play different characters. What that really says about her, however, is just how reliable of an actress she was. Whatever project she committed to, she put her entire heart and soul into it. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. And stick around to find out where Yvonne Craig's career took her after Batman wrapped up. A much sought-after actress. Yvonne was pretty much everywhere you looked back in her heyday. She was co-starring with Elvis in films like It Happened at the World's Fair and Kissin' Cousins, and took the female lead role in James Coburn's spy film In Like Flint, and appeared in the cult sci-fi film Mars Needs Women. Not only was she starring in films, she also made a ton of TV guest appearances. These were on programs ranging from Bob Denver's The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis to Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, as well as on shows like The Big Valley, Laramie, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, just to name a few. Back in the day, TV was kind of like the system with films. Actors were contracted with a specific studio, and they would assign them to different movies. The same went for TV actors. If you signed with Paramount, you do a bunch of Paramount shows, and so forth and so on. Itching for a change. By 1967, Yvonne was looking for a regular series to join the cast of, and she found that in Batman. Before then, she was doing a lot of guest appearances, and Craig lamented that people didn't typically attach a name to a face when they saw guest stars. She wanted to be more than just a face in the crowd. So she told her agent she wanted to land a role in a series where the audience would see the same people with the same names every week, and hopefully form some kind of connection with them. Craig had previously done a couple of pilots, but they didn't go anywhere. So when she got the call from the producers of Batman, informing her they were thinking about adding a girl to the show, she immediately pounced on the opportunity, even though she hadn't even ever seen the show before. Craig wasn't much of a TV watcher back then anyway. Most evenings, she would curl up with a good book before calling it a night. But she was at least aware of how popular Batman was. So when the producer, William Dozier, asked her if she'd seen the show, she told him she hadn't yet, but if she got the part, she'd spend the summer watching reruns so she would know how her character would fit in. The Path to Batgirl. Craig must have made a good impression with Dozier because she got the job, although she was first required to film a presentation for the ABC network execs. They wanted somebody that would appeal to males over 40. Back during that era of TV, the studios didn't do all the market demographic studies they do today. They just knew they were missing a crucial sector of their target audience. Craig's presentation to the network was 7 minutes long and pretty straightforward. It started with Barbara Gordon as a librarian seeing the Mothmen at a table in the library. After she overhears what's going on, she takes off her shirt and it turns into a cape. Then she takes off her hat and turns it into a cowl, and that was it. Batgirl or that girl? Eventually, Craig's agent called her and told her the studio wanted her to fly to Chicago for the NAPTE convention, which would give independent television stations the choice whether they wanted to pick up the show with her added to it. Although she was reluctant at first to do so without receiving a firm commitment, she ended up agreeing. En route, she was told she had landed the job. Although during a ceremony at the convention, where the stars of upcoming shows were introduced, she almost embarrassed herself by not waiting for her cue to walk out on stage. When they said, "that girl," she thought they had just said Batgirl, but fortunately someone grabbed her before she walked on. Just then, Marlo Thomas, star of the ABC sitcom That Girl, walked out for her show. While Miss Thomas probably would have understood the mix-up, it's a good thing Craig didn't walk out when she did. Yvonne was the perfect choice for Batgirl. Yvonne was cast as daughter of Commissioner Gordon and secretly Batgirl, who mysteriously showed up on the scene riding her Batcycle to fight alongside Batman and Robin. The series ran from 1966 to 68, and she was only part of it for the final season. For her to fit into the show, she had to be able to do the same thing Adam West was already doing. That meant she had to perform both on a serious, almost Shakespearean level while performing for laughs at the same time, so that the younger viewers got a comic book-esque vibe and adults got a show that offered comedy. That was a lot of pressure, but Yvonne delivered. Yvonne had a blast doing Batman. Yvonne loved her job playing Batgirl. Not only did doing the series give her a place to go every day, it also paid her quite well. Doing the series gave her the opportunity to work alongside industry legends like Ethel Merman and Milton Berle while getting to do her own stunts. But beyond that, she also developed a devoted fan base among the show's viewers. Nothing was more rewarding to her than the time she went to the grocery store and a little girl approached her and recognized her as Barbara Gordon. After Batman. After portraying Batgirl for the final season, Craig continued to act sporadically in movies and TV. She appeared in guest roles in shows like It Takes a Thief, The Mod Squad, Emergency, and Mannix. Craig also played Marta, a green-skinned Orion slave girl, in the 1969 Star Trek episode Whom Gods Destroy. From 1969 to 72, she appeared in 4 episodes of the comedy series Love American Style. In 73, she appeared in an episode of Kojak, and in 77, she made a guest appearance on The $6 Million Man. After she retired, Craig entered the world of private business. For a while, she was co-producer of industrial shows, but then started a new career as a real estate broker. In 2009, she made a minor comeback, providing the voice for Grandma on the animated kids show Olivia. Craig also published her memoir From Ballet to the Batcave and Beyond in 2000 and appeared in a documentary called Ballet Russes in 2005. Craig died from metastatic breast cancer at age 78 at her home in Pacific Palisades on August 17, 2015. Now it's time to hear from you. Let us know your favorite memory of Batgirl in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.